Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently in the midst of constructing our mining station over the moon. But let's take a look at mission control here. Atmospheric surveys of Eve, pass on that one. Explore Kerbin, I mean, this is probably something that we're gonna do, but we've done this before. We didn't dock vessels on or around Urban, we just rendezvoused them. That's right. We'll go ahead and grab this. We might do another crew transfer mission if Bill oversleeps again sometime. Test size 1.5 decoupler at the launch site. I mean, okay. We can do that really, really easily. And that's just free cash. So I think overall, that's what we're going to grab for now. We're still primarily going to be working on our station, but let's get that free cash really, really quickly. Let's go ahead and do a Probodobodine Octo 2, and then we're going to do simply a TD1... Is this a size 1.5? This is a size 1.2, I believe. TD18, size 1.5 decoupler. There we go. Yeah, it looks hilarious. We're going to launch it. We're not going to bother saving this either. There's no point. No point whatsoever. So we're going to do that, and then we are going to just stage this. Boom. Contract complete. And now we'll recover it. Well, that was some easy cash. Okay, so let's go ahead and load back in here. Wonderful. And we're going to go into the VAB, and we need to start work on our mining module. Now, our mining module is once again going to be running off of an unmanned launch. And what do we need on this thing? Well, we need some ore storage, or orage if you prefer. And where exactly do we hide that these days? I always forget where ore storage modules are located in this. Do we even have ore storage modules? That's probably something we should figure out. Let's see here. Ore. Well, that's not helpful. That is not helpful at all. I'm not sure we have them unlocked right now. And mobile process, or not the mobile processing lab, but the, yeah, I think we maybe don't have the tech for it currently. Let's hop back out here and double check that. We may have to run another mission to get the science for it. Let's see, nuclear propulsion, large volume containment, no. Advanced metalworks, no. Composites, no. High altitude flight, nope. Heavy landing, no. Field science, no. But it might be in this tier. Very heavy rocketry, no, it wouldn't be there. High performance fuel systems, nano lathing, metamaterials. I mean, maybe I'm just not recognizing it because it was changed by ReStock. We'll have to check that. But I'm not... Advanced science tech. Okay, small holding tanks here, and convertitrons, and mining drills. So this is what we need. We need 550 science for that. I mean, we do have science coming in, right? That is a thing that we have. Hang on a moment. Is this on or around Kerbin? Dock 2 vessels on or around Kerbin. We can dock them on Kerbin. Okay. Well, this is going to be really easy. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to get that contract done. We're going to use, I think... Actually, we are going to use a Probodobodine Octo. And we are... Or actually, we're going to use a Probodobodine Octo 2. And we are going to just rotate it like this. And then we're just going to put in, say, a modular girder segment. Like... That is not the button I'm looking for. Like that. And then we'll put in a docking port. This is going to be super easy and super simple. We're going to put in a docking port up here. This is kind of a biggie. We're actually going to do a docking port junior. And actually, I'm going to put it in on the back here, I think. Let's go ahead and rotate that as needed. Yeah, we'll put it in on the back there. And then we'll just put in some wheels on this thing, some rover wheels. Which of these are bigger? They're the same. Okay, 81.7 centimeters. And we'll just rotate them to be something like... It's not how I want them to be rotated at all. I want this to be in mirror symmetry for one thing, and we are going to rotate it to be this, but reversed. There, like that. Then we'll duplicate that and position it here. I'm noticing a small issue here. And that is that these are the wrong direction. We need not these wheels, but rather we need, I think it's these ones? Yeah, it's these ones. Okay, so we'll just do that. And then as far as power on this thing goes, I mean, we'll just slap a photovoltaic panel on top. Like, all we need is to dock these up, right? That's literally it. So let's go ahead and save that, and we'll launch it. I saved it as the untitled spacecraft. It's not a spacecraft at all. It is a really crappy rover, and that's okay. So all we're going to do here is we're going to get it off the pad. I am noticing that we don't have any sun for our solar panel right now, and I'm also noticing that these guys steer. We'll go ahead and disable that steering, and we'll do something along the lines of this, and let's just get it right on off the pad. Down the hill a little bit will be absolutely fine. Are we out of power? We're out of power. Okay, sure. So we'll just get it off the pad. This is fine. We don't actually need it to have power. I wonder if we can activate brakes. That is a negative. We cannot activate brakes without power. For some reason, I was thinking that this would, you know, be in daylight. I don't know why. Well, we're just going forever. Actually, we're not going forever. We're going until we get to around... Actually, we're just going to continue going. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and revert this. We're just essentially going out and grabbing it. We're going to revert it to launch and actually to vehicle assembly. And I'm just going to toss a battery on here because I don't want to wait until morning because I'm lazy. So we're going to put on, say, a pair of Z100s in mirror symmetry over here. It'll be fine. That should be more than enough power. And we'll go ahead and launch that. I say launch, but we're not actually going to launch it. We're just going to dock it up here on Kerbin, since apparently we can dock it on or around Kerbin. And that is excellent. Once again, we're going to have to disable steering on these wheels because they are inverted. I mean, we could just invert it, I suppose. That is an option. We could just do steering direction inverted, and boom. Except that it now kind of strafes, so we're not going to do that. Strafing rovers are exciting, but not really what we're going for. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn on our brakes here, and then we're going to turn this guy right on around and turn on our brakes. There we go. And now we're going to head back to the Space Center. Not like we have to go far. And we're going to put out a second one of these little weird rover things. They don't actually do anything. Their entire purpose is, of course, simply to dock with each other. Okay, so we'll launch a second one. Once again, we should disable the steering on the back leg. If I did that, or back leg, on the back wheels. If I had done that in the actual VAB, then we wouldn't have to do this all the time. But alas, that is not how this works. So we're going to go ahead and disable steering here, and over we go. Yeah, we're definitely not the most effective rover I've ever seen, but we don't have to be. All we have to do is set this as our target, and we'll go ahead and brake here. Excellent. And we'll just head over to that target. Boom. And there we go. We've docked them together, and that is the first outpost on Kerbin, apparently, and we've performed a docking maneuver on Kerbin. That also gives us this, and Kerbin continues to surprise and amaze us, apparently. So let's go ahead and recover that. And we know that we need like 100 and some more science. So that's probably something that we should consider doing. Well, let's check to see what we've got here. Docking on or around Minmus. I'm actually planning on building a station around Minmus. So that'll be okay. We'll accept that. I know that that's not in the that's not in the plan, but I am actually planning on using a station around Minmus as essentially a refueling station. I'm not planning on having it be as extensive as our moon station, and it'll probably end up being supplied by the moon station as well. Detect 2 comets with the infrared telescope. Has to be in orbit around the sun. That's something that we're not currently going to do right now, I think. So we've got 450 science here. And the question is, what do we want to do to get a little more? Well, that is quite the question, isn't it? We'll have to think about that one. I mean, we have a fair amount of science that's out there right now, right? What if we were to just hop over to the space station core and take a look at how much science we have built up right now? Because I think we have to manually transmit this back. So let's take a look here. We currently have 0.445 science. Okay. That's fine, I suppose. Let's go ahead and run a magnetometer report. And let's then store that in the lab. There we go. And that puts us up to 198 out of 750 data. Sure. Let's go ahead and open up this service bay and observe the mystery goo. We are going to have to reset that, but we'll store that in the lab. That's another 190 data. Actually, that's 38 data. And we can store even more data in there. Let's log the temperature. That's already in there. Okay. Hello, pause menu. Goodbye, pause menu. We'll go ahead and reset that. And we will go ahead and log the barometer. That's another 225 science eventually. That's 45 more data stored. Sure. And then up top here, we've just got those batteries right now. Okay. So that's all the science that we have there right now. Apparently at some point I throttled up a very tiny amount. That didn't really change our orbit dramatically though, so that's good. We'll accept that. Now we do have a Science Junior on here, and we'll go ahead and conduct a materials study. And we will process that in the lab. 94 more data stored, so we've got a good amount of data stored in the lab currently. And then, let's see here, we've got a surface scanner here. We're too high for the ore, and we can adjust that a little bit later. We can log observation data, but it can't be done right now. Needs to be activated on a solar orbit. Okay, sure, that's fine. And we'll go ahead and close this. Excellent, and I think that's all of the science that we can currently put into this. So we'll go ahead and have... not Sanzor. We'll go ahead and have Zelgar EVA. And we're going to climb up here, open up this service bay. Can we reach this goo? Yes, we can. We'll restore that, and we'll close this. We will go ahead and let go and turn on our jetpack. There we go, and we'll come on over here, because we need to work on our science module ever so slightly. We'll go ahead and restore that. And then we'll come right on back in over here. Perfect. Okay, so we're currently making about 5 science per day. So that'll take some time then, but we've got a lot of data there to work on, so that is perfect. So we need another 50 science, is what we need. Let's head on back to the Space Center. And I suppose we could try to get our hands on some quick science, or we could do something a little bit more extensive. Ah, hello, our lighting is apparently not working again. Well, we'll hop into the spaceplane hangar, apparently, and leave that and see if that fixes it. I don't think it actually does so, does it? We need to, like, fully reinitialize this area, I think. Oh, it did work. Perfect. So we'll hop into mission control here, and an adjusted orbit of Kerbal. I mean, sure. That's something we could do. None of this is really things that I want to do, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put up a different communication satellite. And we're, in the time of this communication satellite, we are going to utilize to have our overtime science come back to us. So we're going to load up the France Comsat Mark III. And is there a magnetometer on this? There is. There doesn't really need to be, but I guess there doesn't really need not to be either. So what we're going to do with this is we are going to put this into solar orbit. Let's go ahead and launch this, and I'll show you where we're going to put it. We are going to put this in orbit essentially between Kerbin and Duna as a bit of infrastructure for expanding out that direction. Because we have a relay satellite in orbit over Eve, right? We already have this. And I do actually wonder... That is a Mark III. Okay. So we do have that satellite there, and if we turn on the network here, we can see currently we have a connection. We don't always have a connection there, but we have that for if we're going deeper into the system. Maybe we should actually put it in between Duna and Dress, now that I'm looking at this. I think we'll investigate once we get into solar space. We'll investigate at that point whether we can put it in between Kerbin and Dress, or rather, Kerbin and Duna, or Duna and Dress. Duna and Dress would be the ideal, but we'll see if we have enough Delta V. So let's go ahead and lift this thing off. And off we go. Our SRB's definitely doing work there. I mean, this is what we employ them for, is work doing. We're going to be moving at about 100 meters per second in a moment here. There we go. And let's... Ooh, that's a lot tippier than I'm used to. Okay. Yeah, I'm used to the big boys at this point, and this is nowhere near requiring that amount of force to move it over. That's fine. We're just going to head on over here. And we will position... Ooh. Yeah, that's definitely wanting to push over pretty far there. Okay, just making it over to that prograde marker. There we go, approximately there. And I do want to bring that inclination up a little bit. There we go. I feel like we're probably going a little too sideways here. I'm actually going to bring this back until our SRBs are up. Yeah, our apoapsis height is not very high currently, so that's fine. We'll just hold here until our SRBs have burned out for another 15 seconds. And that is A-okay. Our inclination is currently coming up, but we have a lot of aerodynamic resistance right now, so we'll just hold here. SRBs are gone. We're plenty high, so let's just hold prograde for now. There we go. And I do want to adjust this inclination a little bit, but I mean, we're only a degree off. We can adjust it later if necessary. I do want to have Kerbin be our focus right now, not Eve. Thank you very much. And we need this to just be on path. There we go. Perfect. So at this apoapsis, we will go ahead and add a maneuver. And of course, we will attempt to do something along the lines of this and circularize it up. Like that. Should do. 92, 89. Yeah, probably close enough. Maybe if I tweak it ever so slightly like that. That was too much. Yeah, it's pretty much it is what it is. That'll do. Okay, so let's go ahead and ditch our fairing. That is, of course, no longer necessary. Ah. The photovoltaic panels. Right, I meant to replace these with extendables. You know what? For the sake of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert this back. We're going to say that this was a launch abort, and we will deduct the rounded cost. So let's go ahead and go into the cheat menu where we're going to not give ourselves advantages. 25K is what we need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. There we go. And then we will go ahead and replace these photovoltaic panels because they have given us problems in the past. And we're going to replace those with, I think, 1x6s. Just in the hope that it will be slightly better. And I do want that to snap, and we'll have it snap in there. Okay. Let's give this another launch. And like I said, that was just for the sake of time. Essentially, what we're saying is that one was like remote detonated, and we're just trying again. I mean, the other thing I could do, I suppose, is just go back to the station and untrack it, the tracking station. That is an option, but at the same time, I don't know. I could do that. Maybe I should. Call it a remote detonation. Okay, so we're making our way back up again, and we're at 100 meters per second, and we're going to start heading on over to that prograde marker. I moved a little aggressively last time, there's no doubt about that. We're going to move a little more slowly this time. Yeah, now the prograde marker is at the 45 degree mark. That's good. Our apoapsis is currently 10 kilometers, which is, of course, nowhere near what it needs to be. And we're definitely making our way over just a little bit more slowly, which is perfect. Our inclination is much better this time as well so far. So that's good too. Okay, we're drifting a little bit in terms of inclination. Let's just lock to the prograde marker now. Fantastic. And we will go ahead and detach these SRBs as soon as they're done. Our height is definitely getting up there. The SRBs will be done very shortly. I'm actually going to cut throttle on our main engine. SRBs, get out of here. We'll get a little space, and then there we go. We're at a higher apoapsis at a better inclination with more fuel. Looks good to me. That was a much better ascent profile. Okay, so we'll just position something like that. We'll ditch our fairing. It is no longer necessary. We're not going to extend our solar panels just yet, but we will in a moment. And we will be in space in just a couple of seconds here. 2 minutes to the apoapsis, so that's okay. And I guess this is going to have to end up... I was planning on this to be a 1-episode mission, but just looking at the timing, it's going to have to change. We'll go ahead and extend our solar panels at this time. There we go. Excellent. Solar panels extended. And this is going to be at, let's see here, there's a 1 minute 36 second burn. So at T minus 30 plus, what is that, 18 seconds? Yeah, so T minus 48 seconds. Sure. We'll go ahead and move towards that. That was more than needed. We're going to go to the prograde marker, and we are going to begin this burn ASAP. There we go, and we'll go a little beyond it, of course, because I warped slightly too far. But it's not a problem. It's not like we have a shortage of DV in this thing. Especially since we're just planning on going to interplanetary space. Shouldn't be too bad. And we'll get rid of our booster stage now. And our maneuvering stage will take over. Excellent. So, I mean, we still do need a fair amount of horizontal speed. There's no doubt about that one. I definitely warped a little too far, but we already knew that. What's our thrust to weight in this stage? 0.77? Okay, yeah, that explains it. I don't think we're going to have a problem with this, though. we're just going to have to burn slightly radial to make it happen, and that's just going to naturally happen with the drifting of the maneuver node. So that is absolutely fine. As you can see, we're already off of the prograde marker and drifting a little bit over towards... This is technically the radial, right? Well, radial in and out. They're both radial nodes. I just constantly confuse whether it's radial in or radial out. And in my mind, I always think of it as radial and anti-radial. I don't know why. Regardless, we are going to be entering orbit momentarily. I kind of no longer care about this maneuver node. Okay, we're definitely going to want to head over towards radial out here. And let's burn this a little bit, just to circularize. Okay, we're kind of losing effectiveness on the radial node here. That's slightly problematic, but we're almost to the apoapsis here, so we now, of course, want to go prograde. And once we hit the apoapsis, we will want to burn a little bit. So we'll go ahead and warp here about 40 seconds in the future. And we'll begin a prograde burn sometime around T-5 for reaching the apoapsis. There we go. Nice eccentricity. Our inclination is a little bit off. I'm not sure if we need to burn normal or anti-normal. I guess we'll find out. We need to burn anti-normal. Okay. So let's get that inclination reduced. I want this to be as close to 0 degrees as possible. And we're almost there. That's as good as we're going to get, and I'm completely okay with that. That will be fine. As I said, though, this will need to be a multi-episode mission, unfortunately. We could use the moon as a slingshot again, and that's probably something that I want to do. So sometime around here, I'll just set this maneuver up, and I will say that it is about time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to take this guy into interplanetary space. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.